Hello and welcome to another video of Intro to Programming and Database class. Today we will learn how you can take your problem statement and convert that pseudocode that we will write together into our very first application using C# programming language. Now, last week we learned what is a program, what is a programming language. Again, to recap, program is a set of instructions that you put together to talk to the computer to make sure that the computer understands your instructions. And an instruction is usually a command followed by some other things that you want computer to do. So if you want computer to do something useful, you have to set your instructions in a fashion that it would make sense for the computer. If it doesn't make sense to the computer, it just would not do it. And that's what we call an error. And the error could be of three types. If what you are giving to a computer as an instruction, if that instruction doesn't follow the grammar rules of the language in which you are coding, that would be called a syntax error. If you are running your program and your program goes into an error mode while your program is running, then that's a runtime error. And then if there is something wrong in your logic, that would be considered to be a logical error. For example, you were supposed to add two numbers and by mistake, instead of the plus symbol, you put the minus symbol and you ended up subtracting the two numbers, which is a valid instruction, however will produce an incorrect output. So now, in our environment, what we will do first of all is to launch the Splashtop if you do not already have Visual Studio installed on your local computer. Now, since I'm using Mac and I can't install Visual Studio on my local computer, so I'm going to Splashtop. But if you have watched the very first video that I've posted under this unit, and I've also emailed that to you, to your email addresses. So you will know that in that video I've talked about how you can go about installing Visual Studio for free on your Windows computer. But if you're a Mac user, then you would have to use Splashtop. Anyway, so when you are in this environment, Visual Studio is located if you click the search and if you type Visual Studio or just the word visual would be good enough, and you will find Visual Studio 2022. Do not click on Visual Studio Code. Do not click on Visual Studio Installer. Do not click on Blend for Visual Studio. We're looking for strictly Visual Studio 2022. Okay, before we get to that, let's first look at our problem statement. So let me open, to keep it simple, let me open Notepad. Let's say my problem statement is that I want, so write a program to display your first name. That's it. Okay, that's basically my problem statement. If you want, I can go a little bit high. I can increase my font size so that it's easier for you to see what I'm writing. Okay. So in pseudocode writing, I will have start and stop to show that this is the start of my logic, end of my logic. And between the start and the stop, I will issue a command such as an output. Again, your pseudocode is like English. You don't have to follow any norms. Instead of the word output, I could use the word display, I could use the word print. And one more thing to keep in mind is, in the output instruction in the pseudocode, when you're displaying an output to the screen, you want to display your output in double quotes. So here I have my output in double quotes, and that is my first name. I don't have to write it in all caps, by the way. I could write it like this. It doesn't really matter how I write my instruction set here. It will just display on screen as it is. So this would be a pseudocode equivalent to me writing my code. Now let's learn how you can write this in the C# environment, which is the language of choice for us. So initially what I will do is I will teach you how to write a console application. Once we master the console application, then we will transition to writing the graphical user interface application. So this week our focus will be to look at a simple problem, write a pseudocode for it, and then write the equivalent C# code for it. So let's get to the Visual Studio environment again. So Visual Studio 2022. This environment is where I will first of all click on Create New Project. Once you have clicked on Create New Project, I have already selected C# from the drop-down box just to minimize my choices. And it's a Windows-based application. Even to make my life simpler, I could just go down where it says search for template and I can type console, right? And my choice will be console app.net framework. That's the choice I want all of you to make, console app.net framework. Okay, so I hope it's easy to follow, and I will simply click next. Now it is asking me what would you like to name it. So I will name it First App. Once I name my app, I will just simply hit create. And upon hitting create, you will see that Visual Studio builds up this whole environment and gives me this bunch of code. Not to worry about this code, at least for now. All you should be concentrating now is that I want to display this output, which is my first name, to the screen. So first of all, instead of start stop, here we have a main. Main is like a starting point. It's like your power button in your car or your ignition in your car. That's all it is. It's main, the starting point. Now, what would be the equivalent of writing an output that you would have in pseudocode? Here, we instead write console. Console refers to that environment in which we will be displaying the output. Console dot, and as you see that the word write line already pops up in the IntelliSense. IntelliSense means it senses what I'm about to write, and it just gives me an option. So I can just simply double click on write line, and I can write my message inside the parentheses in double quotes, Saad. Now, one thing I have to do different in C# that I didn't do in pseudocode, I need to tell the computer that this is the end of my instruction. In English language, instructions end in a period, like what you call a sentence. Over here, the instruction ends in a semicolon, which is the terminator. I mean, it terminates the instruction. Now, I will run this application. So all I need to do is, on the toolbar, I need to hit the start button. As soon as I hit the start button, it will compile. Means it will convert the code that I wrote from the human form into a machine form, which is done by a special program called a compiler. And then here you can see the output right at the top, the name right here. Okay, now I've used a lot of terminologies here. I would recommend, maybe if you didn't get these terminologies the first time, go back, rewind, listen to it again. Go back, rewind, listen to this again. And then do it yourself. Pause the video, do it. Pause the video, do it. Follow these steps. The more hands-on you do, the better you will get at it. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Now, let's change the scenario. Let's say I want to display my full name. Instead of first and the last name, I'll display the full name. So I'll come down here, and instead of just my first name, I will display the full name, right? This is the pseudocode. So let's come down here, and I will display my full name. Now let me run it again. And as I run my full name, you can see that. It's right here, my output, Saad Yusuf. So as you are seeing that with minor changes I make within the double quotes can make a day and night difference. Okay. Now let's say I change my scenario altogether and say, okay, write a program to display your city. So instead of my name, let's say I say, okay, my city is Chicago. So I come down here, and instead of my name, I'll say, okay, you know what? My city is Chicago. And let's run it. And when I run it, it will now display Chicago instead of Saad Yusuf. So this is how you can change the output. Okay, now let's go back and say, okay, write a program to display your city, comma, state, and then after that, display your full name. Okay, now I need, and here's a note, display them on separate lines. Okay, so now I'm adding more information. So I know that I need to display the Chicago city, which is in the state of Illinois, and then I need another output instruction because it has to be on a separate line, which will be my first and my last name. Okay, so once this is done, now I need to go back into the console environment, and I got to do this in the console environment. So let's go back. So this is Chicago, comma, Illinois. I always tell my students, copy paste is your best friend. So we will select this line and we will copy it and we will paste it. Okay, copy paste. And then let me change the output to Saad Yusuf. Okay. Now it's not a bad idea to actually add a little bit of label. Okay, so instead of, I'll just say location is and full name is, just making a sentence out of each one of those outputs so that it makes sense what I'm talking about, just giving a little bit of a context. And here you can see the output. Location is Chicago, comma, Illinois, and the full name is Saad Yusuf. So whatever you write in the double quotes appear as it is. And also notice each write line instruction writes a new line. It's pretty much like if you are working on your computer, as soon as you hit enter, you go to the new line. So we call this enter key, means this produces a new line. It's a carriage return and a line feed. What does that mean? In the good old days when we used to use typewriters, we used to roll the page at the end and we used to hit the ding. So the ding would actually put the cursor at the beginning of the line in the roll, and when you roll the page it would start the next line. So it's a line feed and a carriage return. That's what the write line does. Anyway, I hope it's making sense, and I want you to let me know in the comment section down below of this video that you're following this, and also if you have any problems, you know, keep watching it over and over again. If you still don't get it, or if you're working on your homework assignment, you get stuck, you have questions, reach out to me, please. Also, in the tutoring center, we have tutors available on campuses who can help you understand as well. So there are several venues for you to learn. Anyway, so let's go back here. So now I actually took a liberty of adding location is this and the full name is this. Now usually in programming, in generating an output, instead of is, people sometimes use this colon symbol as a separator. It's nothing more than a separator, just to show that this is where the label ends and this is where the value begins. Label, value. So let me run this to show you that the location colon appears as it is on the screen. Whatever you write appears as it is on the screen. So in this short video, what you have learned is, if you want to display anything to the screen, you need an output. And that output in this language is console.writeLine. and the output goes in the double quotes. Whatever you write in the double quotes displays to the screen as it is. You always end your instruction in a semicolon. Now comes the question, okay, where are all these files located and how can I submit my work? Now sometimes people make this mistake that they give the wrong files. When I ask for the entire project, they give me only one of the files, which doesn't make everything come over. Initially, if you just submit your screenshots, because your code is so small, that will be good enough. So you can take screenshot by using snipping tool, like for example in the Windows environment. Right here I have a snipping tool. If I ask you, okay, give me a screenshot, you go to the snipping tool, you click new, and then you drag and draw around this. And then after that it asks you, would you like to save it? So you click on the save icon, and I could choose desktop to be on the safe side, and I can say, okay, this is my assignment number 1 and it is saved, right? And I can see it on the desktop. Let me show you, and it is right here on the desktop, assignment number 1, right? Everybody see that? Now let's close this and let's go back so I can show you the location. You right click on the project, which is right at the top level, and after you right click on it, it will show you an option at the bottom that reads open folder in File Explorer. You click in that, then a folder opens in the File Explorer. I need both of these guys, the solution files and the folder. Sometimes people just submit the solution file, then I don't get anything. What is a better way of doing it? Just go one step up to the repos. That's where you will have a folder that you could right click, and then you can compress it to send to the zip file. And then once the folder gets zipped, you can then give me that folder, and then we can go from there. Anyway, so there are several options for you to exercise when it comes to this approach. Or you could move it to the desktop, and then you can zip it up like that. However you want to do it. So for example, I copy this one, I go to my desktop, right click, and I can paste this, and I can go from there by right clicking and compressing to a zip file. And here's my zip file, and it has all the files in it that I need. Okay, so this is how you can actually submit, and then when I ask you to submit, you will just submit that whole zip file. I hope this not only helps you understand how to write a small console application, but also will help you understand how to convert a pseudocode into an equivalent code and run it. So this week, your job would be to download the Visual Studio and make sure it's up and running, and to test this code that I've showed in this video, and to complete the assignment posted under this week. Well, we'll catch you next time. Till then, take care of yourself. Bye for now.